Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, President Donald Trump's ceasefire and hostage release deal going into effect with the promise of the release of hostages soon in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, as the president plans to visit the region next week. Some analysts and Israeli leaders worry Hamas will eventually come back. We're going to bring you the story from Jerusalem. As we remember the horrifying events of October 7th, we're going to hear from one woman who survived that day and the miracles that kept her alive. And on a lighter note, to end the week, we're going to bring you our Studio 5 trip to the red carpet for the biggest night in Christian music, this year's Dove Awards. All those stories and more right now on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
It is Friday, the 10th day of October. We're going to begin with the end of the war in Gaza, as the Israeli military says the ceasefire has now gone into effect. The Israeli government is backing the deal, with President Donald Trump hoping it will bring lasting peace. But not everyone is convinced. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story. She's reporting from Jerusalem.
The Israeli government approved President Trump's deal to free the hostages held by Hamas and end the war in Gaza.
We fought during these 2 years to achieve our war aims. The central one of these war aims is to return the hostages, all of the hostages, the living and the dead.
The IDF said its troops are now adjusting operational positions in the Gaza Strip for the implementation of the agreement. Trump said this is a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday.
Trump is due to visit Israel and the Middle East briefly next week, and he has been invited to address the Knesset, Israel's parliament. Many Israelis are rejoicing over the promised return of the 48 hostages, 20 of whom are believed to still be alive, held for more than 2 years now. In exchange, Israel is releasing nearly 2,000 prisoners, 250 of them serving life sentences. Some cabinet ministers voted against the plan. Ben-Gvir said that while our hearts are filled with joy, happiness, and excitement over the return of the hostages, it's impossible to ignore the price Israel is paying by releasing terrorists and murderers from prison. He asked Witkoff and Kushner, "Would you make peace with Hitler? Hamas is Hitler. They want to kill us." David Bedin of the Center for Near East Policy Research says, according to Arabic language media, Hamas has not agreed to a ceasefire, only a hudna, a temporary cessation of hostilities in order to regroup. Hamas official Khalil al-Hayya says Hamas will continue its work until Palestinian aspirations are fulfilled.
We will continue to work with national and Islamic forces to complete the remaining steps, working to achieve the interests of our Palestinian people, enabling them to determine their own destiny and fulfill their rights. This will continue until the establishment of an independent state with Jerusalem as its capital.
The U.S. is sending up to 200 troops to monitor and oversee the ceasefire deal. Other peacekeepers will likely include Egyptian, Qatari, Turkish, and Emirati forces. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell joining us now to continue our coverage. So, Chris, some Israeli cabinet ministers voted against this deal, but is the overall view in the government there that this is a success for Israel?
Yeah, Ephraim, I think it would be yes, and a big success. The full cabinet has approved it. Getting the hostages, which is a big victory. Ephraim, their country, in a sense, can breathe again, hopefully when they're all here on the ground in Israel. As Julie said in her report, though, there has been disagreement. Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, two cabinet members, they believe that Hamas should be should be defeated completely, and releasing too many prisoners. That we're talking about 1,950 prisoners. Also, some believe the next phase could be a problem to get Hamas to disarm. But Israel says, we believe from the Israel Defense Minister, Israel Katz, they are adopting what they call the Hezbollah model. What that means is that what they've done in southern Lebanon and in different parts of Lebanon, they have attacked Hezbollah trying to rearm and trying to rebuild their infrastructure. So that goes on almost a daily basis. So if they see Hamas presumably rearming and trying to rebuild its infrastructure, presumably the IDF will have the opportunity to go ahead and strike those targets when necessary.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu kept up the military pressure on Hamas. Is he getting credit there in Israel?
Well, for some people he is, and some people believe his doctrine since the very beginning of the war is that to apply military pressure on Hamas, that would be the best way to get a deal, the best way to put pressure. And the left, on the other hand, still opposes him. And then we have mentioned there is pressure on the right with these two ministers, but they haven't collapsed the coalition. And believe it or not, right now, Ephraim, people are also looking forward to next spring. That's when the next election will be. And it's really remarkable that Prime Minister Netanyahu has been able to keep the coalition together throughout the war and for the length of their term. It's very unusual here in Israel politics that the coalition would actually stay together this long. But they have won the war so far, and some actually comparing Netanyahu to Winston Churchill, who really managed to win World War II and navigated Great Britain through that awful time.
The Jerusalem Post put a picture of the hostages in the shape of President Trump on its cover. Is this seen as a victory for President Trump as well?
Very much so, and you can see it there in the monitor, in the profile of President Trump. I would say that he's getting most of the credit here in Israel, including that Jerusalem Post cover just brings it home. There's been a banner there in Tel Aviv thanking President Trump. He's going to have the honor of speaking in the Knesset, we believe either Sunday or Monday. But many people also saying, the really credit goes to the IDF, the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice, those men and women who were on the front lines of Gaza or Lebanon, and the families who share in that ultimate sacrifice and suffering. And so the IDF paid a very heavy price, actually fighting a horrible war, but probably the most complex war in modern warfare, not only urban warfare, but also tunnel warfare, subterranean warfare combined with urban warfare. And so the IDF really needs a lot of the credit for this, getting to this point where getting the hostages home and ending the war.
Chris, Israel is releasing many Palestinian prisoners as part of this deal, but they are refusing to release one prominent prisoner. Who is he and why is this important?
His name is Marwan Barghouti, convicted of 5 murders during the Second Intifada. Probably the highest profile prisoner there is in Israeli prisoners. He's highly symbolic. To release him would have been a victory for Hamas. And I would add, Ephraim, that the families of the victims of the 1,950 prisoners being released are very upset. Historically, prisoners released go ahead and commit acts of terror. And some people are asking, why is Israel agreeing to a ratio of literally 40-1 Palestinian prisoners to the number of Israeli hostages? And many of these families are upset as well because their sons and daughters, have been victims of those prisoners that are being released.
Some in Hamas are saying they aren't giving up the push for the Palestinian cause. Is there concern Hamas will eventually return?
Very much so. And I think people need to understand this is not a ceasefire. This is a hudna from the Islamic Hamas point of view. It's a pause in fighting, not a final peace. You can look back to the very early beginnings of Islam, the Treaty of al-Hayya, which is a 10-year truce by Muhammad. It's simply a pause in fighting. They're thinking long term. The war is not over, and how long that pause will take, but just a tactical pause before they can gain strength and come and get their aspirations. A Palestinian state, as Hamas said, really means the replacing them with an Islamic state. A
busy and momentous week indeed. What do you have for us today on Jerusalem Dateline?
Well, Julie Stahl and I will be discussing the hostage deal. We have an interview with Robert Stearns. We're talking about the Day of Prayer for the Peace of Jerusalem, and also a story on the International Christian Embassy celebration of the Feast of Tabernacles going on right now.
All right. Our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell, thank you so much for your insight. Looking forward to checking in with you come next week. I want to remind you at home that you can get the latest from Jerusalem Dateline by watching at 8 p.m. Eastern on the CBN News channel. You can also find the show on the CBN News app as well as YouTube. Coming up, as the war in Gaza comes to an end, we're going to look back as a reminder at what those attacks on October 7th were like. We're going to hear from a woman who was running for her life with bullets whistling past her on that deadly day. And she's going to let us know about the miracles that kept her alive when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch. On October 7th, about 3,500 Israelis were at the Nova Music Festival in the Negev Desert. Early in the morning, more than 100 Hamas terrorists attacked the event, killing 378 people and kidnapping 44. One survivor hid in an orchard for hours as the attack took place. She spoke with CBN's Julie Stahl about why she believes she's alive today.
2 years after surviving a terrifying experience on October 7th, Hadar Sharvit describes herself as a happy person.
I'm a teacher. I teach math. I'm a homeroom teacher. I'm the head of all the classes on the 9th grade in the school that I'm working in. I'm a dancer. I love nature. I love my friends, and I love music. And at the Nova Music Festival, everything just combined together.
CBN News met up with Hadar in the same park that hosted the Nova Festival, attacked by Hamas.
We're very, very close to the Gaza border right now. Were you afraid? Did you feel like it was going to be safe here?
Even though it's next to the border, I don't need to feel afraid to be here. Actually, I feel the opposite. I feel very secure.
Some 3,500 Israelis showed up for the rave concert, and Hadar joined a group of 15 friends. Later, Hamas would attack, killing 378 people and kidnapping another 44. Miraculously, Hadar and her friends would make it out alive. They took several cars, and Hadar rode with her friend Shalev.
He's really important in my story because we survived everything from the beginning till the end, like hand to hand.
Early that morning, rockets started flying, and organizers told them to leave.
Immediately, I started to talk with my father. So he told me that the terrorists just broke the border and they came in to my area. And I was like, no, they're far away. Like, I never thought that I will meet them.
Hadar and Shalev tried to escape in his car. After being stuck in traffic, Hadar feared they would be hit by a rocket, so they abandoned the car.
Shalev and I just went back to the festival area where the bar was and the main stage and the yellow toilets. We were there till 8:15.
That's when reality set in.
I just heard gunshots and a lot of people just running through my direction, and Shalev holding my hand and was looking at me and just telling me, run as fast as you can. Then I realized, okay, they are here. It's a terror attack.
According to the IDF, about 120 terrorists intended to target the Israeli city of Netivot. They took a wrong turn and ended up at the festival where thousands of Israelis were celebrating.
So then they saw all the traffic that we created because of the festival, and they decided to change their mission. We were the new mission of the terrorists.
As Hadar and Shalev tried to escape, they hid under one bush after another.
Yeah, I saw people just getting shots and falling on the ground. And when you see it, you just don't realize that you see what you see is true. This is terrifying and still in my mind and in my dreams at night.
Then they had to flee again. Hadar took us to the open field where they ran, dodging terrorists and bullets.
I'm in the phone with my dad. And I was like, Dad, I cannot run anymore. I can't run anymore. I can't. And he was like, run, run, run. Don't worry, run. everything's gonna be okay, run, run. And I was like, okay.
So were the terrorists, did they see you? Were they shooting at you?
Yeah. I heard bullets whistle in my ear, like, "Phew, phew, 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 phew."
We then went to this orchard where Hadar showed us a tree like the one where they hid.
It was like God just put this orchard, and I was like, how I didn't saw it before. I heard people got murdered, women got raped, screaming people, and then silence, a lot of gunshots and RPGs and grenades and missiles, and seriously, chaos, hell. I just felt like, that's what I heard all the time, boom.
With fruit on the tree, the branches formed what she called a dome where they sat for 5 hours.
There were walking terrorists like over here inside the orchard. We saw them, we heard them, they didn't saw us. There were a lot of miracles inside this orchard, a lot of miracles.
Finally, when the shooting eased up, they heard Israeli soldiers and left their hiding place.
We said, civilians, 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 don't shoot on us, don't shoot on us, because we surprised them. And then I realized that I don't need to be any more close with my emotions, that I can cry, that I can scream, that I can express my fear.
The soldiers took her to the Ofakim police station where father and daughter were reunited.
The hug that we gave to each other, I felt like, I cannot explain the feeling. And then from that moment, the PTSD war started.
Right. Hadar believes she's now on a mission to share her story.
I'm Jewish, I'm Israeli, and this is the history. It's like a second Holocaust.
She wants the world to know Israel is a peaceful place despite the enemy's desire to destroy it.
I know it sounds funny because all the wars that we're going through, but the people are peaceful, and we all want just peace in the world. We are the only Jewish country in the world, so when you say, what is Zionism? Zionism is just the right for the Jewish people to have a land for their own and to have a place for their own and country for their own.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, the Nova Festival Memorial at Re'im, Israel.
Still ahead, going to take you to the biggest night in Christian music, the 56th Annual Dove Awards from Nashville, Tennessee, the home of gospel music. We'll bring you this look. It's coming up right after this. The 56th Annual Dove Awards lit up Nashville, Tennessee, and the Gospel Music Association gathered the most celebrated names in Christian music. It is a night to honor God and the gospel and the spotlight the artists to inspire millions. We travel there for all the sights and sounds from the red carpet. Music City, Nashville, Tennessee is home to gospel and Christian music's biggest night, and we're here on the red carpet to bring you up close and personal for the 56th Annual Dove Awards. How does it feel, 56th Annual Dove Awards? Do walking these red carpets get old, or?
I mean, it feels great. I'm so grateful to be here, man.
It's my first time here at the Dove Awards, so I'm really excited to see the show.
The gifts that God has given people, they're going to share that tonight.
I'm so excited for tonight. The Dove Awards, for me, is an opportunity for our family. This isn't just artists, and we're a family.
It just is a real honor to be here, and we're doing it for the culture, man.
My favorite part about it is the community. This is what the night is all about for me.
I'm just here to enjoy the show, man. All glory for the God.
It's always exciting because it's a new night. It's a new day I have never been here before at the Bridgestone for such a time as this.
This is very timely because we need to see pictures of unity.
Do the nominations get old?
Never. I still want to scream at all my neighbors, oh my gosh, guess what just happened today?
My manager came to me and he was like, hey, you're nominated for Artist of the Year. And I was like, again? This is happening again, you know? So, no, I don't think it gets old.
Do these things get old for you guys?
No, this is such a good atmosphere to be in. It's such an atmosphere of faith and love.
It's a blessing to be acknowledged and recognized for the work and service that you give to the kingdom.
Why is this music so important now?
Because it shares the good news.
I feel like these are songs for the moment.
We should always err on the side of extreme confidence that God is using us to make history.
Like, it's more than art. It's a message. Like, it's like from our family to your family.
You know, we've just tried to remain faithful every single season we've been in. Whatever God has given us, whether that's a song, whether that's a moment in church, whether that's just showing up every Sunday and trying to faithfully serve.
I think we found a lot of purpose in creating a soundtrack for this next generation.
At this time in our culture and in our world, never has there been a time where we needed to celebrate more and come together.
To still be a voice in the culture and for God to still be using us as a blessing.
I think now more than ever, people are hungry for truth, and I believe that we've got some answers. And this music gives us the courage to stand against that opposition.
This is pretty spectacular for Christian music, for the church, for the world.
Contrary to popular belief, the good news is yet alive. Still alive and spreading.
Indeed it is, and you can see the Dove Awards this evening at 7:30. They're airing on TBN. We're coming right back with an encouraging word for your Friday and your weekend ahead. We'll be right back. Time now for your Friday Faithful, and today I leave you with this faithful reminder. You are stronger than you know because of who lives in you. God is in you. There is none greater. There is none wiser. There is none who loves you more than he loves you. Don't you dare forget it. He is bigger than any mountain you can or cannot see. With that word, make today a Friday filled with faithful thanksgiving. That's going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time, as well as online. That address is cbnnews.com. We would love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can reach out and touch us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We'll see you here Monday.